Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to this little stream. This is going to be a kind of a short one, I'm guessing, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours tops. I have some other stuff to do today, but I kind of promised on Sunday that I'm going to continue making the game and streaming it on Monday, which I did not do, but it bugged me a little, so I figured that maybe a short stream today on the day of the deadline might, shake things up a little. Yesterday I did work on the game off stream though, so I'm going to give you a quick tour of the current version in a minute. Meanwhile, as you can see, the deadline is ever so close, 11 hours and 42 minutes at this exact moment, so there's no time to waste, but still a lot to do. Let's take a look at the game. If you want, you can try the game as well, the current version. The chat bot answers the game command, I mean the exclamation mark game command with the link to this nice little public itch page, which contains the current build, and I'm going to be updating it throughout the stream, hopefully. So this is how the game starts. It's not great. There is no title screen yet. I'm not even going to make one during the stream, I think. But in the evening, I will have one last session, and probably with some input from Tibor, our graphics artist, we are going to come up with an actual tolerable title screen at least. Meanwhile, this is basically the level selection screen. It doesn't look great, but it does have 5 levels at this point, and Tibor already made the 6th one, so I'm going to be importing it pretty soon. So right now you can choose any of these paintings. I'm going to choose the first one, which we created in the game. This is a painting by Sándor Bortnyik, and it's a really minimalist constructivist one. So right now I did some changes to the UI. It still doesn't look great, but maybe it's a little better. I mean, I got rid of the ugly gray HTML buttons and did I put these little ones instead, and also switched the sides. So now the preview is in the top left corner, and there's actually a little timer which will appear as soon as I click this button, Start Scramble. So now the shapes are shifted to the right, to this inventory part or something, and a really primitive timer has begun to tick. This is not what it's going to, it's not going to look like this in the final build, hopefully, anyway. So right now you can grab the shapes with your mouse, put them wherever you feel fit, and rotate them with either the right click, or you can use the mouse wheel, which is handy because then you can choose the direction, either counterclockwise or clockwise. It does have a little side effect because it also scrolls the page down, but you can also enter full screen by either by pressing F or using the little full screen button, which is placed there by itch. I'm going to make an actual toggle full screen button at one point, so that's coming up. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up this little painting, moving all the shapes to the hopefully right places. And right now the game only checks the match between the original painting and the one that you have made when you click the compare images button, and then it outputs this little percent which signifies how close the two images are to each other. So right now if I press this, you can see that it's coming along, 95% match, but this part is still a little high, so I think this is going to be the right solution, seemingly. Yeah, and right now I think the only thing that is amiss is this little switcheroo. Right, okay, so Now it exited full screen because I only have this little stupid JavaScript alert that tells you about that you have succeeded. Congrats, you completed the level in 115 seconds. This obviously is going to be replaced by some kind of fanfare, I don't know, maybe a firework display or something, I don't know, but an actual proper congratulations pop-up or something. So this is how the game works, and right now you can't really go back to the level selection screen, but you can press R to restart the whole game, and then you can just choose a different painting and have a go at it. I'm not going to do that at this point, however, but feel free to do so. We did some really small playtesting, we can say that maybe. I mean, I asked some of my friends to try the game yesterday, and some of them have tried it actually and provided some feedback. Hopefully it's not too biased, but they said that essentially they were able to complete all puzzles within 3 to 5 minutes tops, which I think is sounds like a good difficulty, I think. So I'm not going to bother about testing the game anymore, but I am going to get started because I have quite a to-do list to go through, and I'm only going to finish with about, I think, half of them, hopefully, on stream right now. So all other items will have to wait till the evening. So, right, yesterday I did look up some background music, found a couple of ones, but I have not imported them yet to the game, but that's coming up. But I'm not going to do that because I might run into some content ID issues or something with the VOD uploaded to YouTube. So yeah, I'm just going to skip over that. And the first thing that I'm going to do is a relatively small change. Right now, the game works by when you press the start scramble, everything is shrinked a little bit. So this big shape is actually turned into a smaller one when you press scramble. So it looks like this. But when you grab it, it actually grows back to its original size. However, this shrinking stuff is only done so all the shapes fit in the inventory part of the screen without much overlap. So this also means that I have to use some kind of ratio to resize all the shapes. And right now it's a fixed ratio for all the paintings, which is not optimal because some paintings have a lot of big shapes and some have just small ones. And I would like to have the shapes in the inventory as big as possible. So I'm going to make a slight change, and I am going to create a new instance variable on this picture frame object, which is the parent of all the other shapes. And this is basically the object that is created during runtime when you load up a level. It also has these little instance variables, which I'm not using yet, but I will, which hold the metadata basically about the painting. So the artist, the title, and the year. So this is going to be another instance variable, and I have no idea how I named it, so I'm just going to have a wild guess, scale factor, something like that. And we will take a look at the current implementation. I just need to find it. So in this F level event sheet, the start scramble function is called when you press the button on screen, and it calls this attempt arrangement custom action, and that's where the shape resize factor, yeah, okay, so I'm just going to steal that. That's how I'm going to call the instance variable. And the good thing about construct is that I can just, do this rename. And although I have not used this instance variable yet, if I already had, then it would refactor it without any issues. So you can always rely on changing the variable names as long as you are not referencing them from JavaScript, because that part of the refactoring does not work. I mean, yet. I don't know if Ashley is actually working on it or not, but Anywho, so right now the attempt arrangement custom action actually receives the resize factor as a parameter, as an argument, and this can be seen in action right here. As you can see, right now all paintings have their shapes resized to 36% of their original size. I'm going to get rid of this parameter, and instead the attempt arrangement custom action should just grab this number, the shape resize factor, from the instance variable of the picture frame object. So I can look up where it's used, and basically it's only used here, so I'm just going to have to reference the picture frame object. It's not picked, but there's only going to be one of it in the level, so it should be automatically picked this way, I think. Let's just go with this shape resize factor and see if it works. And at this point I can just delete this parameter and boom, it's done. The signature already changed in this custom action call, similar to a function call, so this parameter was, you know, here, but now it's not. So that's done. And of course, for everything to work, we need to specify these numbers one by one for each painting. And right now I'm just going to set them all to this 36% value by clicking picture frame. It selects all instances, and I'm going to put the 36% right here. And to test if everything works fine, I'm actually going to change the shape resize factor to just 10% on this painting and have a little test to see if it works. So now the shape should really be really small. I mean, 1/10 of the original size when I click this button. Looks like it's working. And if I go back to the level selection screen and select a different painting, for example this one, then these should only resize to 36%. I think it looked kind of similar to this, so yeah. Seemingly it's working fine, which is a relief. And I also have to do some guesswork because I actually need to set these to a bigger number. That was the original purpose, and I'm pretty sure that this painting was the one that kind of warranted the 36% change. I'm just going to click these through. Now everything is 40% except for this one, and I'm going to see if the resizing goes well and the arrangement is successful. I'm also going to open the console because I do print some messages about the arrangement and how many attempts did it take. It only took 8 for this one, which is cool. I think it's probably one that can be confidently achieved each time someone opens it. So this is just one attempt, 40% works fine. And I'm just going to see if all paintings scramble fine or not. Oh, okay, and this is a little bit trickier. As you can see, this took 765 attempts. There are 10,000 attempts for each scramble. Now it only took 26. Now it's 346. I think this is fine. I'm going to leave it. I mean, there's little chance that, ooh, that was 887. That's higher, but still well within the 10,000 attempt limit that I specify. So I think this is going to be fine, hopefully. Let's see the fourth painting. Okay, just 2 attempts. That is totally doable, easy. Just 1 attempt. And let's see the last painting, which has kind of big shapes. At least this white circle is quite a big one, and also this. So I'm just going to attempt scrambling it. 63, that's totally fine. 275, some 300. Okay, this is cool. I think I'm going to leave it at that, and then maybe later I might try to increase this value for some paintings, but right now it is all right, I think. So almost all paintings now have a 40% shape resize ratio, except for this one. Cool. That's done. Right, okay, so now I do have an idea for a tidy up button, which is not a critical one, so I'm going to move this a little lower on the list. I might actually move it to the to do nice to have list. No, I really want to do this because I have a hunch that sometimes the player might, you know, put some shapes, especially a small one, to a really weird place, I really want to have a tidy up button which just restores the shapes kind of not original place, but the original place in the inventory. So when you press scramble, it is moved somewhere here and also rotated and stuff. And I want the tidy button to set all shapes that are not overlapping the painting canvas to go back to their original place in the inventory. So yeah, this is this I'm going to postpone a little. However, we do have a trickier item on the to-do list, which is save state, and it's closely connected to the where is it? Pause menu, save and exit feature, etc. So what I want to do is to allow the player to go back to a work in progress level. So essentially, if they want to take a break, or they just want to choose a different painting but come back later, then it would be great if they could continue where they left off for one painting. Right, and this requires a save state feature, which I really rarely use, but I'm going to use now. So one thing for sure, I'm going to take a quick look at the manual and search for this save feature, because Construct does have a save feature, and I'm pretty sure that this no save bit is connected to it. If you want some objects to not be included in the save file, then you could just add the no save behavior to them, which is cool. Okay, this is the one I'm looking for. How to make save games. Right, it uses local storage, which is a little confusing bit because Construct doesn't actually store stuff in local storage in the browser. It uses the IndexedDB storage, or whatever it's called, protocol, I don't know. But the plugin that you use to write and read stuff to and from the IndexedDB actually is called local storage, which is a bit confusing, but I'm guessing maybe in the past they actually used local storage instead of IndexedDB. So let me just read up a little on the save slots, because I do need separate slots for each painting, I think. Right, this is cool. Right. So it works with this system action called save game to slot, and then I can just specify a string literal, and this will be the name of the save slot, and I can read the game state back from this slot just by specifying the same string, which is, you know, looks easy. Hopefully it will be easy. And I can just use the template name. Right now, as you can see, this picture frame object is a template, and it has a template name, and this also matches the animation name of this object, which is called originals. I mean, this stores the original paintings, and as you can see, this object has 5 animations. All animation names correspond to the painting frame object's template name. So when I click, when a player clicks a original painting on the level selection screen, I store the animation name in a global variable called painting. Not a great name, never mind. And actually move to the level layout, and at the beginning of the level layout I just look up the value of the painting value variable and just create the object using the template name that is in the variable. So this is how level selection works at the moment. So this also means that I can probably, I'm not sure if I can read the template name of a painting canvas object later, but it doesn't really matter because the painting global variable still holds it. So I'm just going to have a little think on about where I want the game to save. I mean, if I want it to save automatically at certain intervals, for example, or just have a button that triggers the save action. The plan, according to the to-do list, is to have a little pause menu at one point in the game, which has a button called save and exit. And this would save the game to a slot and then go back to the level selection screen. So I think I'm going to only do the manual button triggered saving at this time and actually create a button that saves the game and dumps the player back to the level selection screen. So to do that, I am going to get rid of this text item object, and move the timer to the top, like right here. The UI is still not the final version. I'm just putting stuff in temporary places at this point. And now this means that I can create a preliminary exit button somewhere here. Move this a little closer. And each button is an SVG object actually. So this is an SVG picture, object which has the original button image, vector image in it. It has a role, and I'm using these text objects called UI text layered onto each button, which also, just for good measure, have an instance variable called role. And basically these all also match. So the start button has the role start, and also the text object has the role start. So I'm going to name this exit and just change this to exit as well, and give the button a different color, which I just use the good old color overlay property. So this is the button that is going to save the current state of the game and move back to the level select layout. So I also need to do a little initialization thing. I'm going to open up the bookmarks. And leave a little bookmark here. I also have one right here, which I do not need anymore. And I'm just going to create a new macro for this new role that I specified. This is going to be called exit. Have the initial value, which is the final value because it's a constant, also exit. This corresponds to the value of the instance variable role on the UI text and the button objects. So when the game runs, I'm doing a little dynamic changing of the text object's content if they have a role. This I only did, I could have just entered the text literal into the text object on the layout, but I tend to do it like this because I might want to have button states that have different texts for the same button, or maybe add internationalization later, you know, to allow the game to be played in different languages. And in this case, this could be the place where I rig the internationalization function, which replaces the text with the right translated version. So I'm just going to do that, and save and exit will be the actual label, even though the role is only exit. I don't know why I have these log messages here, but I got rid of them. So save and exit will be the title, I mean the text of the button. And what I'm also going to need to do is to rig up the button. So in the e-input event sheet, I handle all the touches, and if a button is touched, depending on which role it had, it does something. So now I need to create a new else for the exit, and this is where I'm going to have to do the save and load stuff. So I'm just going to create a new function called save and exit, and I'm going to place it in this event sheet called flevel. This has all the generic level related functions: start scramble, start comparison, on comparison results, stuff like that. So I'm going to create a new function called save and exit, and this is going to be called right here. So when the button is clicked, this function is called, and I'm going to save using the save system action, and the slot will be called whatever the painting is. So this should be fine. And I had a hunch that this is actually a asynchronous function, but action, but seemingly it's not. So I can hopefully just save and go to the level selection layout, possibly. We'll see if it works or not. Right, this takes care of the saving. However, we also need to load up the game state, hopefully. But to do that, I'm only going to at first create a temporary keyboard input event. When I press the key L, I want the game to load from the slot, from the same slot basically. So I'm just going to check if the saving feature actually works. Okay, hopefully that should be enough to check the saving feature. So let me just check real quick. I'm gonna run the game. And the save slot in this case should contain everything, which I don't know how the drawing canvas is serialized or not. I don't know if it's going to be an issue or not. So let's just check what works and what doesn't. So I will open up this painting, give it a good scramble, and maybe move some shapes onto the painting canvas, but just at random positions. And I'm going to press save and exit now. Okay, it went back to the level selection screen, which is cool. And now if I open up the painting again, and then I press the L button on the keyboard, I mean, it looks like it's all right, but I'm not quite sure if the compare images part will work fine or not. And for that to be tested out, I will actually need to complete the puzzle, I think. I'm just going to quickly put together this one. I mean, this puzzle I have made a couple of times, so it shouldn't take long. I'm not saying I'm speedrunning it, but I certainly don't have to spend a lot of time to complete it. I wonder if I switch these up again or not. Okay, I'm going to press compare, and it says that congrats, I completed the image, which is cool. Okay, so now if I move this a little out, I mean to the top, I mean closer to the top, and now it says a 99.16% match. I'm going to press save and exit again, open up the image and press L once again, and click compare images again. It has the same state exactly. I mean, it looks like it's working fine, so that's cool. However, I do need to do something about this loading stuff. So the question is, do I want to ask the player if they want to restore the previous state, or I just automatically load it? I think the latter one is a little bit easier, maybe not the best UX, but once again, this is a jam game, so I don't care a lot about that. And also they can just scramble the image again if they want to start over, so it's not a big issue. Okay, so the question is, how do I know if there is a save slot or not? Yeah, this is the part I'm interested in. So yeah, the save load actions don't tell me which slots have been saved to. Okay, so construct suggests that I basically make a note myself using the local storage object. That's all right. I mean, this could be one solution, although I'm contemplating just doing a load anyway at the beginning. Or let me just check one thing. What happens if I go to this painting, load up the state, yeah, and then save and exit, go to this one and press L now? Nothing. So, you know, I could just try loading every time a level is opened, and if there is no slot, obviously nothing is going to get loaded. So I don't know if there's a warning or something if that happens. Fail to load state from storage, yes. But this is not a big problem, I think. I mean, everything still works, so that's all right. Okay, so I think I'm just going to do the really lazy thing and attempt loading at the beginning of the level. So basically the init level function is called here. I do all this stuff which creates the objects, but yeah, at the end I'm just going to attempt loading the slot right here. This is really not the best practice, but I'm after speed at this point and not perfect UX. So let's just try something. If I go to this painting, yeah, this is the loaded state. So I'm just going to click scramble. I'm going to save and exit, go to different painting, start scramble right here, save and exit, go back to this one. Yeah, there was a little flash of the original one, but then the load happened. Also, I have this little layer called loading, which I fade out at one point. I wonder when I do it. Yeah, this is where I do it. Good. So this needs to happen after the load attempt, which is either successful or not. But this should take care of the little flashy, glitchy thing when I'm loading back the state of a painting that I already started working on. Now it takes some more time, but it's fine, I think. I can just press scramble anytime. Oh, I will need to have to do something about this whole issue that it quickly goes back to the original place and then twins out to the inventory. I might want to do something like twinning it back to the original place and then twinning it out again into a different layout. Hey, Resurrected Studio, why not use dictionary key? That is a really good question. I really should do that. Or dictionary key is not something that persists, I think, between replays, and I would rather do something like that. But you absolutely have a point, and I would probably have to use local storage or something to save keep the slots, the used slots in some persistent place that I can read them back. But I'm really doing the lazy stuff today, so yeah, I will probably leave it as is right now. But that would be the better solution that you suggest, indeed. Right, okay, so I can say the dictionary on local, definitely, yeah. I mean, the dictionary is basically JSON or something, not the same as JSON object, but I'm guessing that's something very similar, and I can just push that to the local storage, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I could do that. Right. Okay, so I think I'm going to give it a little tick right here, because I mean, it's done basically. Autosave is working, but it might need some additional testing because I'm not sure if this is really the stable version that I'm looking for. So local storage current best score. Okay, this is coming up, and so I will need to use local storage anyway, so I might just supplement the save state feature as well with some record keeping on which slots are used and which are not. So I will definitely need to use local storage because of the feature that I want to record the player's best times to the local storage, so I can show them later, if they attempt if they attempt to make the same painting twice, I can just tell them, okay, now it took you this many seconds, but the last time your best was this many seconds, or something like that. So under the object types in the data folder, I'm going to create local storage. And local storage is actually, as I mentioned earlier, is actually a plugin that stores stuff in the browser, but not under local storage, but IndexedDB. But this is, just a minor confusion. So this is a key value storage, I think. I rarely use this as well, so I'm just going to have a quick look at the docs once again. So under plugins, I should find local storage. Yeah, and it's basically in a similar vein as the actual local storage that works in your browser. For example, if I open up, I might not open up this one. I don't want to show any tricky, keys or something that are in my local storage with construct.net. So I'm just going to open up example.com and open up the developer, what the frick is it called? Developer doc toolbar, something like that, whatever, in Chromium this time, but basically it's the same in Firefox as well. And if I go to the application tab, under local storage, I can show you that this has no local storage values stored yet. I wonder if I can create one manually. It looks like I can't, but basically it's a key value storage, so there's nothing to see here. Anyway, it's a pretty simple storage solution. So let's just go back to the docs for a second and see how things are working. I wonder if this is asynchronous. It is. Good. All right, that's good to know. So right, I could either do the cleaner thing and store stuff in JSON and then store the JSON in local storage, or I can just create a new local storage item for each painting's best score and be done with it. So I'm guessing right now I'm going to do the latter one. Right, okay, so let me just think about this a little. So I want to save to local storage the time at the end of the level, but only if it is smaller than the time that was actually in local storage, if it even exists, of course. So I will need to create some functions that look up local storage keys and values and stuff like that, and call that to update the score. So yeah, I think I'm going to name it on, or just I'm not even going to use a function yet, but I might refactor it later. So this is basically the on comparison result function is called when the Pixelmatch library returns how many pixels were different between the original image and the one that the player have created. And if the puzzle was already in a scrambled state, then it checks if the image match percent is actually equal to 100, and if it is, then this means that the player have completed the level, and fanfare and stuff like that. So this is where I'm going to put the local storage integration temporarily. So let's just see how it works. So compare key, compare value, okay. And the compare key is something that I might want to do to check if a key even exists, right? Or not. Yeah, seemingly it's not possible to check if a key exists. I mean, at first glance, at least. This does something like that, but this is a trigger. Right, okay. I might just go with the right. So I might need to use JSON or dictionary to store this stuff. The question is that I never really use dictionary. I only use JSON, which allows more complex data structures to be stored, but dictionary might be, you know, basically a simpler version of that, I think. It's a key value store, and it does not have any levels or folders or something. Right, Resurrected Studio says use a dictionary or array, more easy to compare. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that might be a good way to do it. I have used JSON in the past, but I have never used dictionary, so this might be a good opportunity to do that, I think. Although I kind of prefer JSON because it can have structures, multiple levels and stuff like that. So that's very kind of you, Resurrected Studio, thanks. Hopefully I can manage, but I do appreciate that you want to help. And I might actually need your help because, yeah, this is one part of Construct that I really have little experience with, almost nothing basically. So, okay, I'm just going to try to do something, and if I fail, then I will probably ask for your help. So let's just, okay, go with it. So the local storage I do need, and under data I'm going to create, I think I'm going to try to use the JSON object type to store basically everything. And I can just use this to store the save slots as well, and the high scores or low scores, basically the best times. So I'm just going to retrieve the JSON object from local storage, I think. Although I can probably do that at the beginning of the level, it might be a better place to do it. So, okay, I'm going to create a function that says read storage, and I am going to get an item. And I might need to come up with some kind of versioning scheme. Oops. Possibly. And right, go ahead, construct, do the auto-saving bit. So this should trigger the loading stuff. And the question is, do I want to do it the dirty way? Yeah, at first I probably would. Or although, no, I'm not. So I'm just going to create some events. So when the local storage item get is finished, I think this is going to be the one. And I'm going to need the key. So the key I want to store in a place that I can reference later. So I might also want to add something for when the item is missing. And basically, I don't know if the on error, when is this triggered? I'm going to look at the docs. So on item missing is also going to come in handy, I think. In this case, I just probably want to do some initializing, you know, write an empty version of the JSON object to the local storage or something like that. But if it's successful, I'm going to parse the contents of the item into the JSON object, I think. I'm just going to lazily call this data JSON, and I'm going to, there's a set from JSON, I think. Is this the one I need? I think it is. This is the only one that has JSON in it, right? Yes, looks like it. So I'm going to just at the root put whatever comes from the local storage item value, I think. And I'm going to add some logging so I see what's going on. And basically, I always forgot the name which returns the stuff in JSON. Yeah, I'm just going to use the compact string and just echo everything that is in the data.json object to the console. I'm also going to create a little log message with a warning label that says no game data was restored, something like that. And I'm also going to look at the docs and check chat as well. Dictionary is near, oh, so sorry, this is the previous message. Okay. Right, it's like a global variable, but easy to store as JSON. Yeah, but I mean, the JSON object is pretty easy to store as JSON. It's JSON. I think I'm going to try to use that, but I don't know if there are advantages of using dictionary except for that it is simpler and only has keys and values. and no nesting. But the reason I want to try to use JSON at least is to store different kinds of data. So I can, store the various settings. I might have volume controls. I want to store the volume level in it. I want to do the actual storing the save slot names in the JSON. I want to use it for the scores, so the best times, and I could just create a JSON structure that has all this information in a relatively structured manner. So yeah. Okay, what's with this error stuff? I wanted to check. Local storage error. Okay. If the quota is exceeded, right? Okay, so the on error trigger should fire if I fail to write something in local storage, probably, or such as the write failed. Okay, but there might be an issue with the reading stuff as well. Never mind. I'm just going to create a trigger, and if there's any error, I want to log it to the console. That's it. Okay, so where was I? Read storage. Okay, so this function should be called when at the start of the game. I'm guessing the whole game or at the start of each level. There's no need to read it back at the start of each level, I think. However, right now the level select layout is the one that the game is starting with. But at one point I want to create a menu layout, definitely. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that. Yeah, I think I want an event sheet for it as well. I usually store the menu layouts events in a different event sheet because there are not many of them, and I don't want to include everything that is in the actual main part of the game. So I'm just going to name it menu and add the little icon, which I usually do for event sheets. I have no idea what I usually do. I think I'm going to look for a book or something. Yep, it's a red book. Good. This is going to be the event sheet for the menu layout. And right now, I just want the project to start with the menu layout. And in the menu event sheet, what I want to do is at the start of the layout, I want to... Oh God, there are so many tabs open. So I want to call the read storage function, I'm guessing. And since it's a function, it can be called without including it in the event sheet. So that should work fine, I think. Meanwhile, Resurrect Studio says dictionary advantage, quick and easy to read. My go-to when doing gems, but JSON is okay too. Yeah, I that's what I figured. I mean, I literally never use dictionary, but I was guessing that since it's basically a single level structure, only keys and values, it's really easy to work with, and you don't get lost with all the something pass and stuff like that. So yeah, that's totally understandable. I mean, it might come in handy at one point. So functions, and it was called read storage. Good. Yeah, and this should fire, and this should do this get item action. However, this will have triggers which are in the main event sheet, I mean the level event sheet, which is not great because they are not going to run if I'm on the menu layout. So Okay, I just moved these, I think, right now to a separate event sheet called eLocalStorage. Oh, an icon. Maybe a floppy? Yep, good. And this event sheet will have all these local storage triggers or events in it. So I will have to include this event sheet, eLocalStorage, in the menu, and also I will probably have to do it here as well, because I will probably need to use them later as well with the saving and everything. So okay, damn, okay, good. So I'm just going to see what is printed on the console right now. So the game should start with a blank layout. That's done. And the console, right, okay, so it attempts the reading. I will have to add a console message for that. But then, since it's an empty string, it cannot be parsed into a JSON object, which is totally fine. So now the loaded game data is an empty object. This is, I think, all right. I mean, this is a warning. I can, maybe have a little check if it's an empty value or something. Although, what is a little bit strange is that I thought that this was going to fire if there is no local storage key with the key that I specified. So it's a bit weird that instead this one fired.Maybe I screwed something up. I mean, there's a very good chance that it's my fault and not construct. So, but nevertheless, this is right now fine. Okay, I'm just going to try something real quick. So if in the menu event sheet I place an event. So when I press the keyboard X button, I just want to save add something to the JSON, data JSON object maybe. So I just, see if everything works fine. So right now I'm just going to not insert value, but maybe this is with arrays, right? Okay, so I'm just going to test key, test value. I don't know if this is going to work or not, and store this in local storage. So local storage, set item, the key is the usual, and the value is the data JSON. And where was it again? The compact string version should be sufficient and a little more compact or efficient. Okay, so when this fires, this should also, I'm guessing, have a matching trigger, which is run when the local storage write action is successful, or if it's not. But if it's not, then I think this error trigger will run. So I'm just going to create a new event. So when the local storage set and any item is in, but specifically when an item is set and the item is this one, I'm going to do some more console logging. So I'm just going to say saved game data to local storage, and just for good measure I'm going to, I don't know if I can access actually the item value at this point if it is saved, but let's just check. So Okay, I'm pressing X now, and it gives me a little, oh yeah, I know what I did. So that was not a, I think, yeah, save game data to local storage undefined. Okay, that's all right. So let's go back. Okay. I'm guessing I have to use the double quotation marks, which I need to escape, I think. I'm an idiot, sorry. No, this is, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but yeah, this is literally monkeys in front of a typewriter type situation, sorry. So, okay, now there's no error, which is cool, but I have no idea what's in local storage. Let me just restart the game, because it's not local storage. I'm just going to press F5. Loaded game data, but it is completely empty, okay. I'm just going to add the little logging stuff here. So I'm just going to echo the contents of the data.json object as a beautified string this time, just to see if I even set the contents of the JSON object correctly or not. No, I do not. Okay. God damn it. Okay. Right, I'm just going to do that instead. So test key, test value. This should work better. I don't know why I was attempting setting the stuff from JSON when there was this more obvious version to do. So okay, now this is the contents of the data.json object. Hopefully it's saved to local storage. Let me just restart the game and see if it's loaded back or not. Okay, still some issues. Loaded game data and it's empty. Okay. So let's do some more debugging. Get item. Okay. First I'm going to okay, so the key looks fine. It has the name of the game, the version number, the build's number basically, and this little suffix says data. So this is attempted right here. Get item should fire, and when it does, then this should fire as well and say loaded game data, and now, yeah, it should be a I'm just going to Lépsz, Viktor? Oksa. Akkor halihó.
Holnap majd. Vagy nem, lehet is sikerült, de már meglátjuk. A legjobbakat.
Thanks, hello. So I'm just going to echo at first the data that I got back from local storage and then deal with this local. Okay, it looks like OBS crashed a little. That's happened before. Let me just check if I still have enough space because I'm also recording just to be safe, but yeah, I do. Okay. 1 second. Right, I should be back up, hopefully. So I'm just going to go to Stream Manager on my iPad. Right, okay. Welcome back. Do let me know, please, if the video is working fine now or not. But it looks to me that it is, but I mean, I have no idea why OBS crashed. It is the usual encoder error message stuff, so I just restarted it and restarted the stream as well, so hopefully it should be fine. Okay, so little interlude. So I was just checking the contents of the local storage when I'm reading it back. So got data from local storage, and this looks like valid JSON, and for some reason this is not how to load it, I think. I wonder if I have to put anything else here. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I have to use the setJSON action to restore the internal state of the data JSON object from a JSON string. So I wonder why this is not working. What if I specify something here? Interesting. It seemingly works now, but why? I can't really put anything into the root or something, or maybe I have to do this, just a little dot or something. No, it does not work. That's interesting. Let's just check the docs for the JSON plugin, and under actions there should be this set JSON stuff. Okay, parse string of JSON data, set the value of the path. Okay, but if the path is an empty string, then it should be the root, right? I mean, that's what I would guess. I mean, that's not a big problem because I can just come up with a root key basically. But yeah, this is valid, isn't it? Okay, I'm not going to get hung up on this, so I'm just going to have game data at basically the only key at the root of the data JSON object, and this also means, of course, that I can do something like this to only read back the contents of the game data key or sorry, object. And also when I'm storing the stuff, I also need to make a little change. So this happens here. So Yeah, there's a little bit confusing. So there's get as beautified string and there's to beautified string, and it's, I think this, yeah, this can have a path set to it. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to use this one, but I'm also going to go with the compact string version. So this is going to be the one. But I hate using string literals in cases that like this, so I'm just going to create a macro for this. The question is, how do I name it? The most hard things in game design and software development in general. Naming stuff. Because this is a freaking JSON object key. I'm just going to create a role for it. Slightly confusing. And this should be fine. I'm just going to search for game data. And so it's used here. I'm going to reference role game data right here. Then here as well. And finally here. So hey Tibor, how's it going? Where are you, by the way? What are you up to on this fine afternoon? Object key? Jojajij. I won. Okay, so got the data from local storage test key test value, loaded game data test key test value. I'm going to press X. Game data test key test value. Yeah, this is okay. I'm just going to clear it first and then try again and see if I messed up anything. So under IndexedDB, there should be some stuff. I have no idea which one though. Okay, this is the save game. This is a local storage something. So I'm guessing this is the one. Let me just take a look. Okay, this is for a super old game. And this is for something completely different. But also I have my data as well. So, okay, I'm just going to pop this. Start the game again. There should be a warning, I think, this time. Yeah. So got data from local storage, big nothing. Loaded game data null, that's all right. And I'm just going to press X and no, something's amiss. This is not how it should look like. Because I think I messed up the, which part? So set test key test value, okay. I'm going to have to do something like row game data dot test key and set it to test value. Oops, concatenation, okay. Right, and now it should be better, I think. I'm just going to pop once again this and restart it. So this is a warning, this is fine. I'm pressing X, game data null, what? Okay. Why? I'm screwing things up. Okay, let me just restart the game. But nothing should come back, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's go through it. So when I press X, I'm setting the game data dot test key paths value to this. I mean, but even if I echo it back, it seems screwed up. Game data is null. Why is it? God damn it. What am I missing? Game data.test key. This looks like a valid JSON path, and still this is what is put into the data JSON object. What the hell? I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm doing something wrong, but I'm not sure what it is. Test value. Let me just grab the docs. Maybe I'm remembering something wrong with this. Referencing the different levels, but now it's done with a freaking dot, I think. Relative paths. Okay. So game data.test key is the path. It's a valid path, I think. And the value was valid a minute ago, while I was only using test key by itself. Yeah. Interesting, to say the least. I wonder if I do something like this with a separate set path action and just use the current path, which is I think referenced like this, and set the value like that. Let's just see what happens. It's a big freaking no still. Yeah, I think I have an idea now what happens. Basically, stuff cannot be just created automatically recursively. So I can't directly reference something that is not on the top level, but some levels below that and set the value. But then again, there was this set JSON stuff. So what if I do something like role game data and something more complex? Test key, test value. I don't know if this is valid or not. If I have to put the test key stuff in double quotation marks as well. I'm just going to check. Okay, now it has the stuff that I wanted basically to do, so that's all right. Save game to local storage undefined. I'm pretty sure that this is all right because where is it? So local storage item value is probably not available if you're using the save event. So this set event to be exact, but that shouldn't be a big problem, I think, because I can just start the game again and see if something's read back or not from local storage. Okay, got data from local storage, test key, test value, loaded game data, test key, test value, good. All right, so what do I echo here? Yeah, okay. So what is inside the data JSON object and what is inside that, I mean the game data key, is now echoed to the console, which was this one, which is all right, I think, I'm guessing. So I can just probably move on. What was I doing anyway? So yeah, this was so well, yeah, the best score stuff, right? Okay, I completely forgot about that. Okay, so I'm going to have to come up with some kind of data structure, because that was the reason I was using JSON as well. So I can just do something like game data. This is the root, kind of, not the root, but yeah. And inside this, I want to have something like, it's not called high score, it's best time, right? Okay, best times. And best times should really have a, it should really be an object which has keys that correspond to the painting names. So something like, let me just grab an example. So in the originals, it has, for example, this, doesn't matter which one, but okay, I'm just going to grab this one. So it should really say something like Bortnik and then a number, for example, I don't know, 34, which means that the Bortnik painting was solved in 34 seconds. So something like that. And if more paintings were solved later, then they will get added to this object. For example, this one. Something like that. Okay. I'm just going to put this right somewhere here. Good. Okay. I will have to come up with something, because I will need to store this in a constant, an enum, or a macro as well. So I will probably do something like no, that's all right. I'm just going to continue using the role prefix or something like this. So best times and I will probably need to save this only in one location. So the best time should only be saved when the level is completed, which happens right here at this moment. So, however, when I put the best time into the JSON object and yeah, it should be instant, and then I have to make little local storage saving stuff. So just like read storage, I'm going to create a different function called write storage, and just basically do something that I did here. So I'm just going to copy this and put it right here. But instead, the role game data should really be no, this is not alright. Yeah, I'm going to have to take this apart into several actions, I think. So data.json. What the hell? Data.json. Set path. No. Maybe it's not even possible to. Right. So role game data. Dot role best times is going to be the path, and inside this I'm going to put a no, not like this. I'm doing stuff all over the place, so this needs to happen here at first. So when the level is completed, I'm going to find the right path, which should be this one, I think, and the value should be image match per, no, the timer. What was the timer? Time elapsed, right? Okay, so the time elapsed global variable contains how many seconds have passed since the start of the level. This is going to be put in the data.json object, hopefully, and this should be then saved. So by calling write storage, I'm going to have to just store everything using the local storage action set item, I think. Now the question is that what do I need to do to have this working, because I might need to create some blank state of the data.json object. So on the start of the layout, okay, read storage is invoked. It tries to get the item. It attempts to load it, but for some reason this does not run. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me just check how many, if direction. Check if item exists. Okay, this is different. So get item is separate from check item exists. Okay, so check item exists, and I'm going to go with this one, of course. But basically this needs to happen here, right? And if it doesn't exist, then this should happen. And this is where I need to initialize, I think, the JSON stuff and store it as well. Oof. I'm a few levels deep, I think, in this whole crap, so I might be doing completely wrong things here. So this is just a proof of concept. Okay, let me check. So just some rubber ducking. So on the start of the layout at the beginning of the game, on the menu layout, I check if the tricky local storage key stuff exists. If it exists, then I invoke read storage. If it doesn't exist, I put a little error message in the console. Okay, so it's reading the game data from the local storage if it existed, using this, and if it doesn't exist, I just try to initialize the JSON object with some kind of empty template stuff, and then write it to the storage. So now it should exist the next time the game is started. Okay, might be some errors. Let me just okay, at first I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to restart the game. So no game data was restored. Saved game data to local storage. Right. Okay, but okay. This is not the best message, but something like that. Okay, so now there should be something in the local storage, and I don't know if this is in the right format or not. Let me just reload and see. Okay, reading game data from local storage, attempting to load game data with key something. Got data from local storage, best time, which is an empty object. And loaded game data. Okay, this might be all right. Now what I have to do is to add the best time and write it to the local storage. I'm going to add back some logging stuff here. So writing game data to local storage, and in this case I want to data JSON get as compact string, I guess, and just the usual game data key reference. Okay. I'm not sure if this is going to work fine, however, but we'll find out. However, to test this, I'm going to create a little temporary testing key event once again. Just when I press S, this should happen, and instead of the actual time-elapsed value, although it should be a numeric value, I'm just going to put 99. Right, okay, so if I... what did you write, Tibor? Now I get it, unit losses. This is the reason you can see sharp cut. Good one. Yeah. Okay, I also need to do some sort of right. Okay, right now I'm just going to add another temporary keyboard shortcut, I don't know, space or something, which just goes to the go to layout and the level select layout. So I can just, you know, get away from the menu screen, which is an empty layout right now. So, okay, best times, this should work fine. I'm pressing space, I'm pressing I'm clicking a painting. This is a loaded state anyway, which is cool. And now if I press S, writing game data to local storage, best times, working edge 99, save data to local, save the game data to local storage. Cool. I'm restarting the game and gonna check if stuff from the local storage actually restores. Yeah, loaded game data. This one, the loaded game data thing, is actually retrieved from the JSON object, right? So it really parses fine, looks like it. Okay, this is cool. So basically, it seems to work fine. I did store the best time in the JSON object and then saved it to local storage. Hooray! I might try it, you know, like this, if it works fine. However, what I also need to check is, before I save it, if there is a number in it already, which is smaller. Okay, I'm going to create a function called on puzzle solved of, no. I'm going to name it onSolve at this point and move all this crap to here and just call onSolve when this happens. So I'm going to get rid of the alert because it's crap. I'm going to put a little to do here, although I do have a to do item for this, I think, or if I don't, I'm going to supplement it in a minute. Okay, I do not. Oops. Something like this. And yes, at this point I'm going to have to retrieve a value from the JSON object. So I don't know if I can compare value, I guess. Okay. And the path is game data dot best times dot and the painting. I hate that I named this variable painting. I'm going to change it to something else in a second. And basically, if the value in it is, if it is smaller, no, if it's larger, than the time elapsed. And I guess if it doesn't even exist, this key, then this should just do something like null or something like that. So comparing this with time elapsed should also basically have the optimal output, which is, it's not greater than time elapsed because it will probably, I don't have, maybe it will even have a warning on the console, I don't know, but only if there was a number in it which is larger than the time elapsed value, then I want to overwrite it like this. So, okay, so 99 seconds was the original one that I put in. So now I have to complete the puzzle under 99 seconds, seconds, and then I should be fine. Right, space, whoops, okay, good. So this is the actual puzzle. I'm just going to put this here, put this here. I don't know why I'm using the right click, because using the mouse wheel is faster, although not as convenient, in my opinion at least. Yeah, the problem is that the time elapsed is a quite high number because I resumed the state. Still, fuck. Is this the problem or something else as well? No, something else as well. Now I missed the mark. Never mind. Okay. However, I seem to have missed. So when I press start scramble, I should really, yeah, reset that. But I did not. Okay, now I did, so let me just make the puzzle again. Yeah, 99.82. This is because of these little fuckers. Okay, so now it's 100% match. There is no alert because I disabled it. It says writing game to local storage, best times, Bortnik 46. Save game data to local storage. That's good. I mean, it looks like it saved it fine. I'm going to restart the game and make sure that it loads up. Right, okay, so I'm guessing that I can just, you know, retrieve it as well. So this is almost done. What did I have in the to-do item? Local storage current best score. Okay, I need to display the current best score along with the current score, which is not score anyway, it's time, but whatever. Also, I want to do the resetting bit a little earlier with the timer because I only change it to 0 after the whole tweening stuff is finished. So when the shapes are moved out of the painting frame, or what the fuck is it called? Picture frame to the inventory, then I set the time elapsed value to 0, and I want to do it earlier, just at the first time basically that the scrambling is attempted. So ooh, this is a good tune. I'm just gonna close up some stuff that I don't need. Okay, so attempt arrangement. Here I'm also going to set the value, whoops, not this one, time elapsed to 0. So once you click the scramble button, it already sets the value to 0. So if it was counting up, then it changes quickly to 0. And it will start counting up once the tween has finished. For example, now it's 54 seconds. And I'm just going to press start scramble, and now it already, okay, kind of. Not great. I'm just going to hide it, I think. But I'm not going to do it here. Instead, where am I going to hide it? Am I going to use a different text object for displaying the current best? That's the question. Okay, so it's a restored state once again. This is probably an issue anyway, because I completed the puzzle, but it restarted, or it is restored Yeah. The question is, can I delete save slots? I think I cannot, if I remember correctly. You can't really delete the save. Yeah, I can just ignore it. Shit. Okay. That might be a good read as well. What isn't saved? Well, because I said that's alright. Okay, this is not an issue. I mean, drawing canvas is not in here, for example. But if it was, then I would be having problems anyway. Right. I think I'm going to create a new instance of this object. And put it right below that one. Name it best time. And I'm going to, of course, create a macro for this. Roll best time, which is slightly confusing because there's already a best times macro, but this is for that is for the JSON key thing. Whatever. You know what? I'm going to create anyway some new type of macros. JSON keys and not this one, and I'm going to prefix it with JK just for fun. Right. Okay, I am parched. I'm going to have a little break, just a few minutes, I promise, and I will be back in a jiffy and finish this whole best time display stuff, and then I'm going to move on to some different item on the to-do list. Stay tuned, guys. I will be back in a minute or two, or I don't know, 5. And indeed I am back. So I'm almost finished with this best time bit, but I still have to finish up this part. So let me just check something. One thing that I might need to think about is what am I going to do exactly when the level is completed by the player, because I'm pretty sure that I don't want the player to see their best time all the time when they are in the level. It would be enough to just only show it when the level is finished, and so they can just find out if they did better or worse than the last time. But I'm going to finish up this feature as is, so I'm just going to display it right now, right here. But maybe during the second session for today, which will be in the evening, I might just add the best time text display on some kind of end of level screen or something. Right, okay, but now when this is created, I will have to set its value to something that also contains this best time, if it exists even. So basically I need to supplement the init action right here. I'm just going to copy this. And for the role best time text object, I will have to make a little check. I'm going to have to check if the data.json object has a key, and if it has a key, then if it has a value, I think. So if it has a key under role, no, it's not role anymore, it's JK game data, then JK best times, and then the painting. Oh, sorry, one more dot is missing, and then the painting. So if this path exists, then I have to compare, no, not compare, just simply display the numeric value, I think. So this will need to happen right here. And otherwise, I'm just going to use a dirty trick. Set text with an empty string, so it won't even show up in this case, basically. I mean, it will show up, but it will be invisible because there is no text in the text object, so... Right. Opening up this should... Oh shit, something's off. Because in this case, there should be a little best time for this painting. Right, okay. So the best time role is assigned to this. That's fine. Something was a little amiss, I think. Let me just try again. This is invisible by default, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do the proper thing and play with visibility instead. Still not happening. Okay. Ah, crap. I pressed F11 instead of F12. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to check the console. This is getting weird, so I might have screwed something up. Okay, this is fine. Best time is the role that is assigned to this object. This one. It's on the UI. It's not visible by default, but then it is set to visible, and if it's now something should really display on the console unless I screwed something completely different. Okay, best time for Bortnik 46, that's good. But I still can't see the little text item. Why is that? And I also have a suspicion that isn't this a little high compared to this? Maybe not. Timer, best time. Okay, I'm just going to move it right here for strictly for testing purposes. It might be overlapping with the preview. I don't know. Still nothing. Okay. I'm going to try to debug this with the debugger. What breakpoint? Did I put any breakpoint somewhere? Is it an automatic breakpoint or something? I don't know. Okay. Let's just go past that. Okay. So UI text, there are a couple instances. This is not the one. This is the button stuff. This is probably the time elapsed, and this is one button, and this is... what the heck is that? Peculiar. This is really weird. Good tune. Clearly, is the right one. No, let's just think about this. So this is an instance just like this one with a different role. And for some reason it did not show up. I'm going to try the debugger again. Should be the last instance probably. Why is it this freaking big? I mean, no, this is the loading one. Okay, that's all right. Okay, false alarm. So that wasn't the one that I created, but there's no freaking text for this one. What the heck? I mean, it's clearly on the UI layer, just like this one. What am I missing? Yeah, for each UI text object, this init custom action is called. One more thing. This was actually running because there was the log message on the console, right? Best time for, yeah, this is actually running. So this is pigged. The data JSON stuff is, yeah, this is also running. So it's very peculiar that I cannot even set it to visible. What if I disable this part? I don't think it's going to screw up anything, but I haven't changed anything. Okay, I'm baffled at this. And just to be safe, I'm going to check another painting which has no best time recorded yet. Oh crap, I might have an idea. The save state is screwing things up, because this object was not in the save state. Alright, okay. This could be the problem. Which is fine, because I can just add the no save behavior to all text inputs, I'm guessing. Yeah, this is probably the issue. Okay, so for each UI text object, I'm going to globally add the no save behavior. And while I'm at it, I think I can probably add the buttons as well. I mean, there's no point in saving the buttons. No save, okay. Right. By the way, do we still have any of these anywhere? No, that's good. I'm going to delete them. And also, I'm sure that a new project version should be started pretty soon, but I'm just going to check this best time thing once again. So okay, I will have to delete the save, I think. And also, yeah, I'm guessing this is the one. Yeah, these are going bye-bye, and I'm going to restart the game. Okay, so now there's no save state, so now the best time thing is working fine, which is cool. I'm going to move it back here. All right. And let me just check another painting which has no best time recorded yet, but it should really not show up in this case. No best time for 1301. Good. Failed to load state. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't look good that it causes an error, but yeah, I'm not going to bother with the save slot management stuff, but I'm going to add it to this list, the to do nice to have list. So at one point, maybe, if I have the time. Right, okay, so local storage current best score, this is a check, I think. And yeah. Right, okay. The allows shapes to be immovable thing is going at the bottom, I think. I don't know if I'm going to make that or not. This is part of the difficulty selection thing, which is non-existent at the moment, so there's only one difficulty for each painting. Every part of it is scrambled, but we were thinking that some paintings might be too difficult to restore because they have so many similar shapes with similar sizes and colors and stuff, so it might be a little frustrating to basically have a bunch of trials and errors to figure out which is going in which position, because it definitely snaps into different positions and it might have different Z orders. So basically the order they are overlapping or displayed at, no, I'm sorry, I get confused. So basically the stacking order is different. So some might overlap others and vice versa. So yeah, it might be a little frustrating to, for example, do the Bontrian puzzle because it has a bunch of big, long and thin black rectangles or bars or whatever. And for that, someone in chat suggested that some shapes might be better if they just stayed in their place. So not all shapes are scrambled, just some of them, and the player doesn't have to recreate the painting from scratch, but only fill in the missing parts. Yeah, but as the testing went, it seems that in a couple of minutes our friends managed to do away with all puzzles, so maybe the difficulty selection thing is not so critical. Okay, I will need to do some more UI design, which I load. The fanfare bit I have to figure out, but I would rather ask Tibor about this, so I think I'm going to move this a little lower. Pose menu, yeah. Save and exit, input help, audio settings, this is all UI stuff. Keyboard controls, yeah, that I can do. This should be easy. I think I'm going to start with this. Re-importing the levels, because Tibor made some changes to it, and there's also a new one. I'm going to definitely do that. Just looking at how much time I have left. It's a good half hour or something. And the level selection screen with metadata bubbles, yeah, this is also UI, but this is something that I can get started with, just the functional part of it, and then figure or deal with the design later. So yeah. Scramble button, select difficult, this stuff is also going at the bottom because it's related to this one. Okay, so on stream today, I think I'm going to do the keyboard controls, and the level import stuff, and maybe this level selection screen update. So, right, I'm going to create a new version of the project, but before I do that, I will export the current state into an HTML5 game and upload it to itch. So you guys, if you are watching, you can play it. Right, okay, so let me just find the right folder. The link is literally on the video, or you can as the bot with the special command !game, and it will give you the link. I'm just using the official itch.io CLI helper application called Butler to upload the, whoops, that was OBS. So to upload the current version of the game to itch. So if I go to this stream game page, then it should load up in a couple of seconds. And now this should include the best time saving feature and also the kind of wobbly save state stuff. Although this is horrible that I have to press space, nobody will know it if they're not watching the stream. Never mind. So you guys have to press space while on the big gray screen, but I will supplement that in a second. I'm just going to add the big ugly start button and do another upload. Okay. Testing the save stuff. Something's a little off with that loading screen still. There was definitely a little flash. Okay. Yeah, I will have to take another look. I need to make a note of it. Actually, Yeah, the best would be to just get rid of the save state, but I cannot do that, but I can probably either ignore it or somehow mangle it. Yeah, or just work around it. I will figure something out. Okay, so I promised a new version. Oh no, at first I promised a proper, not proper, but some kind of start button. And for that, I'm just going to copy this and paste it on the menu layout. Viewport vertical. Okay, I'm just going to remove the role of this, and the text should be start game. And this should be also start. I already used this. Yeah, shit. Okay. I'm going to change this to scramble. And this is one instance of the whole macro thing. So I just have to change the macro and change the role instance variables, and done. This was a lot easier if compared to using a string literal instead of a macro in the code or event sheets. Okay, so now scramble is the macro for the start scramble button. So now I can just add a new start role, and just to avoid confusion, and by avoiding confusion I mean confusing me. So this, I mean, I could basically give the text a role as well, but it won't be used, not in this case. Although, no, this is fine. Okay, so start game. Okay, and in the menu event sheet, I just want to put a little on tap object button, and check if the button's instance variable called role is equal to role start, and if it is, then I will do this. Good. Quick test and then quick re-upload, and then I'm going to create a new version of the project. Good. Right. Okay, so project, export. Once again, everything the same, except for the menu screen. Good. Okay. Right. This I don't really like. I mean, do I even need this? This is not the one that I wanted to mark. I'm going to delete this, and I was looking for that template stuff. Yeah, this is the one. I'm going to make a little to do here because this is horrendous. Okay, so new version comes now. It's 16, no, it's 15. Is it? Or did I just forget to bump up the version number? Yeah, forgot a couple of times actually. Okay, so the next one is 17 actually. And the project version was still at 14. Whatever. Okay, now it is. So the first item on the to-do list that is not checked is the keyboard controls. This is going to be a super easy one, I think. I just want to allow the player to basically rotate the shapes with the keyboard. So if they are using the mouse to move the shapes, and they don't like to click multiple mouse buttons or use the mouse wheel while also holding the left mouse button, then they can just press the keyboard buttons AD, maybe left right arrows or something, and it should also rotate. This should be a super easy one. I'm just going to convert these to OR blocks. This is where the onInput function is called, which has one parameter, and this parameter is the direction of the rotation, which is either clockwise or counterclockwise. So I'm just going to supplement this and say keyboard on key pressed, and which one is this? This is the counterclockwise one, so I'm going to, for some reason, choose A for this, and also the left arrow. And the other one should be with D and the right arrow. Whoops. Okay. Quick test. Oh, this is the only shape that cannot be rotated, so let's try this one. Okay, it works. AD rotates the object, and if I press the arrows, it also works. That was an easy one. Good, but it's good for UX. Okay, re-import levels and add the new one, because there's a new one that I have not seen yet. So I'm just going to go to my Dropbox and somewhere in this shared folder I should be able to find a version of the project. The question is which file, but I'm going to quickly check. Right, which is the latest one? I'm guessing this should be the one that Tibor made yesterday or today, I don't know. Oh yeah, and he was using the beta version for some reason, but this is not a huge issue. I'm just going to create a copy of this and hack the version number inside the project file. I mean, this usually won't cause any problems unless you're using features that are added to the beta version, but this case I'm pretty sure there's no new features used in this project, so just changing the version number in the construct project file should be sufficient. I'm going to open this project folder. I mean, there's no point in backing it up into a zip. Sure, go ahead, edit the files, whatever. Now the question is, I did make some changes to the picture frame object, but seemingly it's not that different, because in my version of the project there's only one extra instance variable, this shape resize factor. This is something that happened at the beginning of the stream. So now's a good opportunity to check what happens if I try to copy this object into a different version of the project, which has an extra instance variable. I'm guessing it will succeed, and the instance variable will be added and it will be empty. Okay, it did not fail, that's for sure. And for some reason it even, okay, it got the default value, which is, I don't know if there's an actual initial default value, but for some reason this also got 0.4. That's cool. I mean, hopefully it will work as well. So, okay, this is a new version. The template is Giovanni, good. And that means that I'm going to have to create a new animation inside my originals object, which is a sprite. Name it Giovanni, and then possibly copy the pixel data from this. How big is that? Not small, but not terribly big, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. And if my PC wasn't so freaking slow, then it should probably happen. Not happening. What the f— I wonder if the copy fails or the paste. So let me just try once more, and if it doesn't work, then I'm just going to import the image or something. Okay, I pressed copy, Control C. I'm pressing Control V now. Okay, now it seems to be working. Go ahead, enlarge the canvas. Good. It's named Giovanni1. That's all right. And I'm just going to save this and add it to the level select screen and be done with it. So just move stuff around a little. This is okay. What happened? Once again. What the frick is happening with Control C and Control V? Oh, okay. Now I know. I'm on the wrong layer. Of course, as usual. Why cannot I select anything? It's not logged anymore. Oh, okay, because this is probably not the... Yeah. This is a global layer. And I can only edit it on this layout and not this one, because on this layout, this layer is overridden. So I guess I cannot even edit it. That's fine. Okay, I'm just going to look it back, turn it off, and on the UI layer, I'm now going to create a copy of this object. Should have checked the level select on the mod one as well. Okay, sorry. I totally could have, but now I guess there's no point, is there? Right, it's there. Okay, thanks, Tibor. I mean, I didn't ask for you to do this, but it was really nice of you that you did. I mean, I'm not sure if I could, you know, import anything. I mean, I could possibly copy the animation and move it to the project, but I will still need to edit, I think, to the layout. So yeah, it doesn't really make a difference, but thanks anyway. So, right, but that also means that you tested it, right? I guess. And I am going to test it right now. Good. Let's scramble. Okay, the 0.4 is probably too big. So I'm just going to change it to, I mean, the original one that Tibor was working on had the 36% setting, so hopefully that is ideal. Let me just, yeah, 0.36, good. Also the names are there. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by the names. You mean that you filled out the metadata in the template, right? Because I did see that. I mean, the artist, the title, and the year. Very cool, thank you. Okay, let's start again. Now it falls apart, which is cool. Right, these are actually not perfect circles as I see, although they look like they are perfect circles, but the edges seem to be a little jagged when I rotate them. So let me just quickly take a look. 99 by 99. Interesting. Maybe something else is off. And this is also, I'm guessing, the other circle. Yeah. Huh. So why was it even rotating? Is that a regression? Is it happening on this painting as well? Kind of it is, but it's not really rotating, although the edges do move around a little when I'm pressing the mouse key. I mean the mouse wheel, and also with the keyboard. Okay, this might need to be revisited. On input, this one. Okay, so when this runs, the rotation direction should be determined right here. And if it's not a perfect circle, then this stuff should happen. So maybe I'm guessing that the perfect circle instance variable is not set correctly. This is not something that the level designer has to do. This is set by code. I'm just going to check. So under shapes there should be a couple, and I'm looking for the yellow circle, this one. Okay, so this is the yellow circle, and it should optimally have the isPerfect circle variable set to 1, but it is set to 0, which is weird because I remember doing this, but there might be a bug or something. I'm just going to quickly check. So isPerfect circle, let's find all references. This is when the, oh yeah, I remember now. I remember. The issue comes from the fact that I used to have the circle animation named circle 100, and now it's named circle, and I think I forgot to change the macro. So if I just remove 100 from the macro's name and value as well, we should be golden, I think. Yep, no more jagged crap. That's good. Let's go back to the new painting. Right, okay. Yeah, I cannot rotate it anymore. I'm just going to click scramble and try to restore the original. Okay, so oh, the music stopped. 1 second. Yeah. I'm going to move to a different playlist, I think. How about this one? Right, okay, so this is the face. Something like that. And this is, I don't know what, but it's part of it. Yeah, the circle is probably in the wrong place, but that's fine for now. I'm guessing that this will be, no. No, this definitely comes somewhere here. And that also means that the circle should be more close to the left side. Not quite. Maybe it's not even the right circle. Yeah, this looks a lot closer. Or although I'm confused. Because this part, this one, looks very close. Yeah, possibly this should come somewhere here, but not this one, the other one. Okay, this looks all right. And this a little lower. One thing I also noticed that this grows when it's overlapping the painting, but when I move it back to the inventory, it doesn't shrink back, which is weird because it really should. There's no shrinking back. Looks like it. Yeah. I'm going to put this on the bugs, issues, items. I mean to-do list. Some kind of regression. Okay. So this part is all right. Let's just continue with the blue stuff. This looks pretty close, but probably no cigar. Also, I'm pretty sure that something like this needs to happen because this is a part of a circle. I'm not sure about this part, but I'm just going to leave it there because otherwise this looks fine, and this also looks very close. The little breakage, is that a word? Okay, so there's definitely a straight red line somewhere here. Then comes the hand on top of that. I think, yeah, this seems to be the right position. Then the colors or whatever, not color, what do you call the part of your dress? This one? I don't know. Okay, some big blue stuff needs to happen around the bottom because yeah. One thing is that I'm probably either making this in the wrong position, or I don't know how big is this preview window because it's overlapping this freaking save button, which is not optimal. Let me just check the current results. Okay, it's not great. This has to go somewhere here. I don't know exactly where, but it looks like it doesn't even matter that much. But we are still only 82% because we need to put something like this here and put the blue circle somewhere here. Still only on 84% match. Circle is not circle, but this oval shape is acting a little weird. It should snap to the bottom. Okay. Maybe that's the issue then. I'm just going to move everything to the bottom. Now we're up to 94%, but this freaking circle is still a little weird. Maybe it needs to overlap the... I mean, no. Now I'm wondering if something went wrong with its size. I'm going to scramble it again. No, it definitely seemingly was in the right position. Yeah, the issue is that I'm not seeing a part of this image. I'm in the bottom part. Yeah, so there's more red in the bottom. Okay, so there was probably just some kind of positioning issue because I did not get the 100%. So yeah. Yeah, the save button doesn't save you here. That's a good point. Yeah. Okay, still, the puzzle seems fine. I will complete it later, but right now I will check my to-do list once again. Re-import all levels and the new one. Okay, so I imported the new one, but not the others. So I'm just going to move these a little further, and I mean, hopefully everything is fine on these. Looks like the template names are fine. So I'm just going to, good, select all of them and paste them into this project. By now, I hope I didn't delete anything else. Let me just double check. Okay, looks like nothing got selected accidentally. So yeah, re-import is done. By the way, I am actually, yeah, the grid is 1 by 1 here, and I did move stuff around, so I hope I didn't screw anything up, but just to be safe, I'm going to change my grid to 1 by 1 and then paste everything so I don't screw up the internal consistency. I mean, not too much at least. Good. Quick test. Just some, not all paintings, but just a few I'm going to try to start and see if everything works fine. Did I press the wrong button? Okay. This is good. Yeah, I will need to do something about the freaking UI because right now the preview painting is overlapping the buttons. I'm just going to make it a quick fix. On the level, I am changing the position of this and maybe moving these around a little. Yeah, I mean, a better UI is coming, but not right now. I'm just gonna move this over here. Hopefully the actual painting canvas, or what the frick is it called again? Picture frame is not going to overlap the timer and the best time display. I'm just gonna double check with a different painting. This will definitely not overlap it. Once I start scrambling it, it should appear. Yeah. Compare also works fine. Yeah, I'm gonna save and exit. Something happened. Yeah, I think I know what. The freaking touch stuff. Yeah, when I click this and I hold it a little longer, due to the fact that I'm clicking this, also triggers loading that painting, which is not great. I'm just going to take a look at this quickly because this is an issue on any touch start. But the weird thing is that I'm not starting a new touch. I mean, I might try to get rid of the touch input anyway. I don't know if it's going to fix it, but I think I might just do this whole touch stuff instead with the mouse, because I don't know why I clicked that. Okay. Yeah, same thing's happening. Short click? No. Not even a short one. Yeah, okay. It's a little weird, but for some reason a new input start event is triggered at the beginning of the level, even though it's not a new event, it's an existing one from a previous layout. Just to be sure that this is happening, I'm going to put a little lock here. Click on layout level, but there's no click on layout level select, not this time anyway. What the frick? Let me just check again. Save and exit. Okay, now it didn't happen for some reason. What the hell is going on? Okay, now it did happen. Okay. Click on layout level. Let me just try again. This is weird. I mean, the click on layout level select log message is not even printing. So it's not a new click. And what the frick it is? Is it? I mean, sorry. Oh, I'm in the wrong location, right? Possibly. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah. Freaking idiot. Okay. Untap gesture on originals. This I'm going to replace with mouse object clicked or something. Just temporarily going to switch it to an OR block. On object clicked, left click and originals. And it says the painting and it loads up the stuff. Right. Okay. Okay, looks good. Yeah. But while we are on the subject, I think I'm going to get rid of the touch input anyway, because there's absolutely no way I'm going to put a proper touch input in the game, so I'm just going to get rid of it, so it's one less input method in the project for OCD's sake. This seemed to be working fine. Moving shapes also worked fine. Right, is in touch. Mouse button is down. Left is dragged. Yeah. This does the snapping bit, I think. I'm gonna get rid of these disabled actions. I don't think I'm gonna need them anymore, and make a copy of these, disable them, and just to be safe, I'm going to change the touch X and touch Y into mouse X and mouse Y. Right. Hopefully. Same here. And instead of on touch and, I am going to do on button released and the left button. Right, quick test. It seems a little choppier, although it might be just me. Maybe the on movement bit should be used instead, which I'm already using for the cursor helper stuff. I'm gonna try something quickly. My freaking monitor is going to sleep mode. Okay, not anymore. So I'm just going to put this in here and yeah, and see if it works any better. I'm going to disable this. I mean, it looks like the same, but it looks fine. So I mean, maybe it was choppy before, not sure. What if I try in the current public version? This does not seem as choppy. Although the window is a bit bigger. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. That's all right. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now, and later I will delete all this disabled stuff once I did some more testing. Okay, how is that to-do list coming? Reimport our levels and add the new one. That's done. And the problem is that I will not have time to do this on stream because I have to go, I'm afraid. I have some work stuff to do still, but I will be continuing development, although I'm pretty sure off stream there's a little tiny chance that I'm going to do another stream today in the evening, but it's much more likely that I'm going to finish stuff off screen. I can't even speak now, so off stream I mean, because I have a bunch of boring UI stuff to do and I don't really like doing that on stream because, well, it's just painful for me. And it's even more painful to watch, I'm guessing, so yeah. Right, guys, that's for today, I think. I mean, I'm going to create a new version of the project just to signify that we reached another milestone, I guess. So I am putting a new version of the game on itch. By the way, did this get updated or did not? Yeah, it did. The green start button stuff. But I'm also going to push a new build, which has the minor little changes and the new updated puzzles and the new puzzle and keyboard controls, and yeah, that's it. That's all there is to it so far. Okay. Yeah, 5 puzzles, and this will soon be replaced by a version that has 6. I'm going to close this one. This was the project that Tibor worked on, and I'm going to export this build called build 18, then quickly push it to itch and call it a stream, I guess. So thank you very much for watching, if you watched, or if you're watching the YouTube VOD version. I hope it wasn't too excruciating at times. It's a learning experience for me as well, so yeah. Oh, I'm just seeing that my camera angle is a bit wacky. This happened. Okay, I'm not going to touch it because it might disconnect, but yeah, something's off. Yeah, that's a good place to end it. So let's just check on the deadline. It's a good 8 hours, so this means that I will probably have like optimally 4 to 5 hours to finish everything. I mean, I'm probably not going to finish everything, but get some music into the game, work on the freaking UI, make an actual menu screen and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully it won't be too embarrassing. So thank you once again for sticking around, and be sure to subscribe to me on YouTube, I mean to my channel, and possibly follow me on Itch if you have not done yet. Yeah, so thanks again. I will be back at one point, but I cannot make any promises when. So bye now.